There we
Well,
go.
welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us for our Tech Tidbit here today, Digital Life Organization. We have Jody Johnson, who is the Instructional Technology Coordinator for Princeton Public Schools, here, one of our ECMEC partners. And she is going to take it away today. And I'm actually going to duck out because we're going to see Hamilton here. And I'm not going to wait around for the presentation this afternoon. So good luck. Hope everyone enjoys it, and we will see everyone hopefully again sometime soon. All right, Jody,
Sounds
you got it.
good. I got it. Yep.
All
You
right.
go have fun. Go get in the room where it happens and all that good stuff. I'm jealous.
Good one. All right. Take
All right.
care.
Have a good time. All right, guys. So yeah, like Jeremy said, my name is Jody Johnson. I am the instructional tech coordinator for Princeton Public Schools. Elementary teacher prior to that, and I've been doing this role for, I think this is my 7th school year. So I'm Google certified, and also, I think every other certification out there, I've got it. So I'm just going to show you a bunch of tips and tricks that I use when I'm using Google Mail and Drive, and then a couple things for just websites in general. So we'll get started. Hi, Becca. Welcome. So first thing, I wanted to show you a couple things in Google Chrome just itself. So when you're looking at, like I put in the description, all the tabs and where's the music coming from, there are ways to group your tabs in Google. So if you have a bunch of tabs open like I do here, but you want to say, okay, well, these are all the tabs about this one topic. So if you're like me, you tend to have, like, I have all the tabs open for my project I'm working on in reading. I have all the tabs open for the project I'm working on for the preschool staff. If you click one of these and then you right click on it, and so if you're on a Mac, it's Control and then the touchpad, and click on Add to a new group, you can create a group for your tabs. So like right now, there's just one tab in here, but I can take this tab and slide it in, and you can see it's still got that outline on it. I'm going to slide all of these in because I know these are all for my reading work here. And the nice thing is then when I tap the word reading, all those tabs go into one little collection, and I don't have to have multiple tabs open. So that I love the grouping tabs, especially if I'm having multiple things open during the day. I usually have that open, or I have my tabs grouped into different sections just so that I know, okay, this is where certain things are. So that's grouping. So again, you just right click on it and then add tab to new group, and you can create as many groups as you want on there. So also with that right click, I like to pin like my email especially. So if you do the right click and then you click on pin, it kind of takes away that X so you can't accidentally close out of your email. So if you've ever had your email buried with a lot of tabs and then you accidentally close out of it and you want it back open, this just pins it so it stays there. With Google, it's kind of nice because then if you've got it turned on for how many emails you have, you can see that number going up or down. So I know where the music is, I tend to pin my music tab as well, so that it just stays over in the corner. Then no matter how many other websites I get open during the day, my music tab and my email tab are right over there, and I can turn it off quickly when somebody is here. Safari doesn't have this. This is just a Google Chrome. Yep, good question. Couple other things. Fitting more bookmarks into your bar. So you can see here, I have a ton of bookmarks across the top. But every time you add a bookmark, it puts the picture and then it puts all of the words after it. So a lot of times when people bookmark something, so let's say I'm going to bookmark this Schoology, maybe I'll bookmark Schoology itself. So if I click on star to bookmark it, oh, that one I can't. It's already bookmarked. All right, let's go over here and let's go to my favorite. Spell it correctly. All right. So when you go to bookmark something, you just press the star in the corner here. And when I go to bookmark it, you can see that it does this whole like long description, and that will actually fill up a lot of section in your bookmarks tab. So what I do instead is I'll go ahead and click done, but then I will click on my bookmarks tab up here and go to bookmarks manager. Sorry, it's Google to run slow. And what you can do is you can edit the name of any of those websites that are up in your bookmarks up here. So you can see like for Hour of Code, I have it says Hour of Code resources. I can actually do the 3 dots here and I can take all of that out, but keep the website. And then the only thing that will show up is the little icon. So, and I can move this up here so you can kind of see it. You can see it popped up right here. So for a lot of my bookmarks, that's what I do. I take away the description of it because I know by the icons what I need to go to. And then it's allowed me to put a lot more bookmarks up here. I've got 2 for Tigers because one is the actual website and one is the editable version of our website. So that's just something I do to help me keep that a little more organized because I know some people can only have like 4 bookmarks and it's taking up your whole bookmarks bar there. The other thing I wanted to show you is Toby. Toby, if you've never used it before, is a really great way to organize all of your tabs that are open and make it so that you can close them quickly and reopen them quickly as well. So I have a bunch of collections in Toby of websites that I need to open. So this has been really helpful for our teachers who, maybe they have to open 5 different Google spreadsheets every day because it's how we track behavior, or they need to open up, multiple documents. Instead of having to go in their drive and click and click and click and open every one, they can save them in a Toby collection, and then they just click on the arrow here and it will open all the tabs at once. So for instance, like when I was working on our preschool data, I didn't want to have to keep remembering where that was in my Google Drive. So I just made a collection of all of these and now they'll just open up all at once. I'm not going to do it now just because it takes up a lot of energy to open that many tabs at one time when I'm running Google Meet. But you can see here, I have a couple different, like I have, when I was working on my tech tours, I've got stuff from every building here. So I don't have to remember all the different documents. Same with our tech hubs, which is where we store kind of all of our links for things. So I'll show you on here. If I just click this one's a little bit easier. You can see it just opens up right up here. The other thing you'll notice is over here, I have all the websites that are currently open. And I have 2 options here. One, I can create a new group and I can create a collection and move some of those websites into a collection. Or I can say, I want to take everything I'm working on right now and I have to shut down my computer for something, but I don't want to lose any tabs I had open. I can just click on this save session and it will close everything and name it as a group. So it'll actually name it as the date and time. Again, I'm not going to do that because then I have to reopen everything to show you. But it's really helpful. I know when I have to like restart my computer or I know I'm working on all this, but I want to clear out my tabs. It's helpful to just keep those in there. And Toby's just a website. It's also a Chrome extension, so you can get at it by going to the 3 dots, more tools, and then go to extensions and then click on the store and look up Toby and you can organize them that way. You just log in with Google. I'm going to close these bad boys out right now because they're just spinning and trying to get a lot of work done. There we go. All right. Let's jump back over here. Okay. So there we go. Got all that. So I wanted to show you a couple of quick things in Gmail. When you are in Google, you have ways to, I'm going to show you how you can modify your inbox type, how you can snooze an email, and then also how you can do templates. So for emails you have to send multiple times. So in here, you have, if you click on your settings up in the top, It'll open up the quick settings right here, so you don't even have to go really anywhere else. And you can decide, okay, do I want this to be, I have mine set at comfortable, where it's going to show me the name of whose email I'm getting and then the subject line. You can change that to compact, so you can see it makes it a lot smaller. You can also change it to what's called default. And then if there's any attachments there, it's going to show those attachments for you. So that's one thing you can adjust. The other thing that's worked really well for me to stay organized is for my inbox type, I have a priority inbox. And so what I did is I clicked on customize. And what you'll see here is if you look on the left-hand side here, you'll see all of my unread email are up on top, followed by my important emails. And that's a lot. And then everything else. So for me, this keeps all of my unread email up to the top by themselves until I click off of them, and then it either moves them to everything else or important. So if you click on customize here, here's your inbox section. So I have mine set to be a priority, and then I have unread is the first option, important is the second option. So you can kind of pick. I could say this empty one's going to be starred. And then it just puts those in groups in your email. So you have all of your inbox, your unread group to the top, all of your important group to the top. Makes it a little bit easier to find things. Another trick, let's see. Getting invited to the same meeting over and over again. The other thing that you can do with email that makes it really efficient is you can do a template. So if you're sending the same thing over and over, maybe you have a canned response you have to send to multiple people, you can save that as a template and then just attach it really quickly. So I'm going to show you. So if I go into my email here, down here in the three dots, if I scroll up to templates, I have all these templates already preloaded. And so one that I have to send out quite often is the Schoology login information for parents. And so instead of having to go back and find that email or remember how I've written it, I just created a template and I just click on this. It fills in the subject line and the email right away. So then I can just put in the parent's email address and send it off because I know it has all the content in there that I wanted. I'm going to click out of here and show you if you want to create a template. Let's see, maybe this one will, oh, that's not it. I think this one, I already tried to do this earlier today. So if this is a template that I want to create, so this is an email I know I'm going to have to send multiple times, write up the email, write up the subject line. I usually take out my signature down here. You'll see that it doesn't have that signature because it's going to automatically pre-fill that every time you open an email anyway. So I'm going to click on the three dots again, go to templates, and then I'm going to click on either the name of one I already have, or I'm going to create a new template by going to save draft as template, save as new. Type in what the name of the template is, and then just click save. And now anytime I want to use that template, I just go to the three dots, templates, and turn that on. You might have to go into your settings and turn on templates. Sometimes it's toggled off. So if you don't see it here in the three dots, that's where it's hiding right now. Another of my favorite Gmail features is the snooze. You can see down here in my email, I have a couple snoozed emails where it says this was snoozed 2 days ago. If you get an email, so for me, I keep all of my emails, my unread up at top because that's my to-do list of things I need to work on. But if I come across an email, actually, I'm going to do this with Lauren's email because I need to anyway. So if I come across this email and this is really important and I don't want it to get lost in my everything else mail, but I don't need to work on this right now, I can go up here to snooze and decide I want that email to come back to my inbox, but tomorrow or this weekend or next week. So I'm just going to click on next week. And then next week, what will happen is just what you saw with these other emails, it's going to pop back into my inbox by saying snoozed email. So it'll look just like this one right here. So that's a really great way to kind of push those, like you want to keep them in your inbox, but you want them out of your inbox. The snooze is an awesome feature. Let's see, snoozed templates. All right, let's keep going here. I'm going to show you a couple things in your Google Drive. Google Drive can be a really hard place to organize because we're constantly getting files shared with us. Everything we create goes into our drive. But I'm going to show you a couple ways I organize mine. One, I just wanted to go over the main screen. Up here is your new button. That's where you add anything. So if you're going to add a new Google Doc, Google Slide, all those things, or if you want to take something that's on your desktop, so maybe it's a document, a PDF, something you've downloaded from somebody, but you want it in your drive so you can access it everywhere. I will show you right at the end, Brian. You can go to what was I thinking? Oh, you can click on new and then click on upload file, and you'll be able to upload those files right there. Up here is your quick access. It's going to show you always the most recent documents that you've been working with. Over on the side here, you have anything that's been shared with you, anything that's recent. So that's kind of a nice way to find something real quick. And then starred is any items you've starred that you want to maybe float up to the top because they're important. And actually, Brian, before I forget, I'm going to show you guys right now where that setting is. So if you go back into your email and click on the gear, and then go to see all settings, and it is under advanced. I'm going to be really proud if I remember that right off the bat. I did. And then you just need to click on enable right there. So settings and then advanced and then enable. No problem. All right. So with your new button, again, this is how things you can add to your Google Drive. Adding files, you can upload a whole folder, anything like that. You can create a new folder, which I'm going to show you. This is what my Google Drive looks like. These are all my folders. And you can see I have them color coded to help me just keep them organized and looking nice. So whenever you have a folder, and I'm going to actually open up a folder here in my Google Drive for you. You can see my actual Google Drive right now. In my Google Drive here, if you have a folder, so let's just go into my PD folder here. Sorry, it's super slow. Come on, you can do it. There we go. The name of the folder is going to be right up on top. And from here, you can do all the editing. So you'll notice here in the PD one, I have an asterisk in front of it. That's to force it to the top of my list of folders. Because otherwise, Google puts them all in alphabetical order. So if I put that asterisk there, it floats it right up to the top. Same if you put a date or numbers. I'll show you over on the side here. You can see all of my folders. Like Schoology, I have asterisks in front of them so that it floats up to the top. From here, you can change the name of the folder. You can share the folder. You can get a link to share the folder, but you can also rename it. And that's where I put in those asterisks to change the name of it. You can also change the color. So if you want to change the colors, and there's no real rhyme or reason to my colors that I chose, it's just the rainbow order that I like to have them in, but you can group them however you would like to in there. Anything that's not in a folder, so if I click on my drive here, there we go. Anything, so if you see, if I scroll down, these are all my folders, but anything down here that is not in a folder, that means that it doesn't have a place to be right now. It's just sitting in your drive. So this is kind of, I tend to call these like the homeless papers, like they don't have a home right now. So these are all ones that can be moved into a folder, or if you just want to delete them, that works as well. Or if you don't mind the mess, Jeremy and I were talking. He's like, I never use folders because I just search for everything I need. Um, but if you want to move something into a folder, you have a couple ways you can do it. One, you can click on it and you can go up to the three dots and say move and to tell it what folder to move to. And it'll bring up all your folders and you'll just be able to move it into whichever one you want. Or you can drag it. I can click and drag it. Let's pretend I want that in communication. And then the nice thing is it takes it out of your pile of unfolded files. But for searching, I'm sure if you've used Google Drive, you've searched up here. You have the ability to do a more advanced search. So if you click on this button here, and this is also available in your Gmail. So if you're ever searching for a Gmail, like an email that you got or a document in your email, you can use this same thing. It's right at the top of your email. But when I'm looking in my Google Drive, I can narrow it down so I'm not having to search through so many. So let's say I'm looking for a specific PDF that I want to look at. I know it's owned by me. If you know for sure who the owner is, especially if we're searching for a document, so whoever shared it with you is usually the owner. You can even say a specific person. So I could type in a specific person. I'm going to look for ones that are owned by me, and I'm going to put in ones that are from the Palooza. Some other things you can do, if you know part of the file name, you can type that here. If you know that it's in your drive or shared with me, you can select that. So these are great ways you wouldn't even have to put any titles. If you just know, I know it's a document and I know it's in my shared with me and I know it's a PDF, you could mark those off to narrow down your search. If you know when it was modified, so the last time someone worked on it, and then anyone it was shared to. So if I click search now, so right now I'm looking for PDFs that are owned by me that have the word Palooza in them. It should only bring up a couple, I'm hoping, because I think I deleted. I did not. Okay. So it's going to bring up all these documents. I know that I don't need these documents. So I'm actually going to click on the very top one here. But then up here where it says one selected, I'm going to click again. And I'm going to select all 70 of them. And now I can go ahead and move them to the trash. You can do the same thing with your email. So if you search for email and you see this little box with a line in it, you can select more than one. So if I'm going to delete all my emails from Ben, which we would never do, but you could search for one person, select the email, and then you could delete all of them in one chunk instead of individually deleting things. Over break, I actually went through and I put in the search, I just put the date. I put like all of 2016 and deleted all that stuff out of my email because I knew if I haven't looked at it since 2016, I probably don't really need it anymore. So that's a good way to clean it up. It can be hard, and Dimitri, you might find this as you guys are moving to Google, is because it's really pretty much unlimited. You don't get that natural like, hey, your inbox is full, you need to delete some stuff. So it's easy to get it filled with a lot. So going through every once in a while and just deleting those things that you're pretty sure you don't need is always a good idea. So I'm going to click on delete here. Maybe it'll actually move them to the trash. It crashed earlier today when I tried to do that. So, all right. So searching for files, this is just kind of showing you how you can do that. You can search by type, by the owner, location, modified, who's been shared with. Great way to find your files. When you get a file in your email, so hopefully you know this, anytime that someone sends you a Google document or shares something with you through Google, it automatically goes into your drive. Whether you open up that email or not, it's already shared with you. But if you want to organize it right off the bat, when you see it in your email, you'll see that if you hover over it, you'll see a download to download it to your device or a Google Drive icon. And if you click on that icon and click on organize, you can then put it in the folder it belongs in without ever having to go into your drive because you'll be able to organize it right there from your email. So I found that to be incredibly helpful. It's much easier to organize it as they come in instead of waiting for afterwards and trying to find it in my shared with me folder. Couple of things just to remember when you have shared files with Google, you can delete. You can move them into your own folders. They're also in your shared with me folders. But just know that if you delete it, you're deleting it from access. Google will always give you a warning saying, hey, if you delete this, any collaborators are going to lose access within 30 days. If you have a shared folder and you know it's a shared folder because where the folder is, you'll see a little person icon. So that means it's a shared folder. Um, with those folders, you can't move items in and out without affecting everybody else. So if I'm sharing a folder of one-to-one materials, anything I take out of there, everyone loses access to it. So you just want to be careful with shared folders. You can remove them from your drive because if you don't want to look at that folder anymore, um, you can move it into a different folder that doesn't affect anyone. So like I have some shared folders sitting inside my own personal folders for my own organization. But just know that anything you add to that folder is shared with everybody. When sharing a file, I think this is actually the last thing I was going to share with you. When you're sharing a file, if you've ever shared a file and then you get the email from staff or from people or a parent saying, I can't open it, I don't have access, one of my favorite tricks is to use your incognito browser to check that file first. So I'll show you what I mean by this. So if I go up here to this Schoology gradebook, um, so this is a gradebook. This is restricted to just people in Princeton. So I don't want anyone else to be able to get in unless they have a Princeton email address. So if I click on my share up here, and then I look at my settings, I can make sure that that's what it says. So, yep, it's only shared Princeton Public Schools. I'm going to copy this link though, and I'm going to try opening it in a new incognito browser. The nice thing about the incognito is you're not logged into it. Whenever you try to check a document in your own Google browser, it automatically logs you in. And if you already have access to that file, it's going to make it look like anyone has access to that file. So if I paste this in here, I can see that it automatically requests a login. So I know that no one's going to be able to open that unless they have that, unless they log in. Now, if I change this to I want anyone to have access, and I copy that link. So let's say this is a document I want parents to be able to open without an issue. So I want to test that link. I'm going to go to File, Incognito Window, paste that link in there, and it should pop up without requiring a login. And it did. So that's a really great way to check what it's going to look like from someone outside of your organization. Because again, if I just paste this link right here, it already knows who I am. It already knows I'm logged in and I have access to that document. So it's going to look like, oh yeah, I shared it right. Everyone has access. Um, so that's my incognito browser trick. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. We got everything done right on time. 1 minute left for any questions. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.